far. We've got to win this game. We've got to win. We want to win it more than them. Don't we? Let's do this first.
Let him be made, boy.
Now, come on, let's do it. 2 training rooms.
It's Wednesday night at Coolamon, just 5 days before the big grand final. Come Sunday, this team, the Coolamon Grasshoppers, will meet the East Wagga Karingal side at Narrandera and fight for the big premiership honours. It's been 2 years since the Grasshoppers made the grand final, and that was in 1980, a year they'd rather forget. Whether you're a footy fan or not, you have to agree that footballers are a dedicated lot, and it certainly is a serious business. For instance, before we could get permission to film this training run, we had to almost have a security clearance, and we had to give them our assurances that we would not put any of the training to air until after the big match. That's just so the opposing side don't pick up any match strategies. But football fervour, or footy fever as some like to call it, affects more than just the footballers in the team.
When it comes to the grand final, we always come out and do our best.
I think it must be Coolamon's going to win the football.
Why are you so intent on that they're going to win?
Well, they've been playing pretty good. And we've got all locals.
Why do you think the whole town's so supportive for the team?
I think all small communities, you know, they're that happy that their team can get into a grand final, and I think they're probably revved up as much as what the players are.
Well, I suppose we haven't been in the premiership for a few years, so it's a bit of an honour to play the grand final.
Do you happen to know what the big event is for Coolamon at the weekend?
Oh yeah, they play footy on the final.
Why do you think the whole town's so
keen? I
up?
hope they're up the hopper.
Good, thank you.
You're right.
You'll be there on Sunday?
I'll be there on Sunday, yeah. I'll be the chief barracker.
The local cheer squad arrived on the scene a little bit later than the footballers. Most of them had been at home doing schoolwork, but they soon began to practice the routine that they've devised especially for Sunday's big match.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2.
And not even the failing light could divert the attention of either cheer squad or footballers as the training session continued. But while the team practiced outside, inside the ladies' auxiliary were preparing for their contribution to the success of the team. But they contribute more than just pies and drinks.
Oh, the women are fairly well. Without the women, the men wouldn't be here. You wouldn't really have a football team without all the women, sort of the help and that they do, washing the shorts and the kiosks and everything else.
And what have you had to do to prepare for this grand final that's coming up?
Well, we've worked hard all year. We've worked as hard as the men. It's like the old saying goes, behind every good man there's a good woman, but behind every good football club there's an even better ladies' auxiliary. So we've worked hard, and we're just as involved as the men.
You seem to be looking after them pretty well tonight.
Yes, we've had 3 or 4 pie nights throughout the year, and tonight we're having a casserole night as a big build-up ready for the finals to give them a bit of encouragement.
Older people in the town.
As the team finally came off the field, it was an enthusiastic President Jim Braden who assured us that football excitement affects the whole town of Coolamon.
To my mind, it joins the town and gives them a common interest, and quite often they've got their particular teams that they like to beat more often than some of the others. And prior to that particular match, the whole town is really joined together. Down the street, it's rather good to see. People who, from their own endeavour, own ideas, are creating something to do with green and white. It's not organised in any way. And I think this is good because people just follow their own instincts, and this again joins the whole town together.
Hard training, followed by a brisk shower and a good rub-down, means hearty appetites for all the footballers. What do you reckon your chances are, Gary?
Good. Yeah, real good.
What have you been putting the boys through?
Oh, nothing out of the unusual. Just same training nights, Wednesday and Friday. Nothing, different to what we've been doing all year, really.
The people of the town right behind you?
I think now we've come this far, most of them are, yeah.
What do you think football really means to the people in the town, Gary?
Oh, I think most of the people can identify with Coolamon, everyone live in Coolamon, they see Coolamon, they go and watch them play, and you know, they feel part of it because they come from Coolamon, I think.
Football means the town, means everything to Coolamon.
What about you?
I'm from Wagga. I'm an outer towner, but coming from a smaller town before, I know it means the world to a little town like this, and everybody gets behind it, puts 100% in, and you know the town lives. It's a great thing for a little town like this.
Well, I've just noticed since I've been in Coolamon, the town comes alive in winter during the football season. During the summer, I mean, all businesses thrive on football. You know, the hotels, the pubs and everything survive during the winter months because of the backing of the town for the football side. And especially around grand final time, everyone in town wants to be a part of a winning football side in a small town like this.
I hope we see it. It's been 10 years since we've seen an A-grade grand final win, and it's about time, and it's really colossal how the town, having worked so hard, joined together and then created all this green and white bunting and everything around, and then they just let go, and it's rather good to see too. And after a hard year, well, it's a good release too, just quietly.
And if you win on Sunday, what will happen to the town then?
Oh, I don't know, I wouldn't like to say.
And if the unthinkable happens and you don't bring home that flag?
Oh, there'll be a lot of disappointed people on Monday, sure, but I don't think we will. I think we win.
But on Monday, with a well-fought match behind them and having lost by only 5 points, perhaps there aren't as many disappointed people in Coolamon as Gary thought there might be. But one thing's for certain, to the 1,500 people of Coolamon, the Grasshoppers are still the best team in Australia.